Star Wars touches on so many archetypal and meaningful things. It crosses cultures, legend, and spirituality. It popularized the hero's journey, and despite being from the era of disco, it manages to be timeless. I don't see a difference between an earthenware jar depicting the mighty feats of Heracles and my Return of the Jedi lunchbox. The tarot also touches on many archetypal and meaningful things. They're these hokey little trinkets psychics and charlatans use to tell the future, but every tarot reader knows that they don't really predict the future. It's amazing what a stranger will tell you just because you laid out a bunch of magic cards. I've had conversations about careers, if you're becoming a new mother, the colon surgery that's coming up. Conversations I could never have with someone I met 10 minutes ago. We tend to put meaning in everyday objects. A lucky shirt, that necklace your mom gave you, a wedding ring. But the cards are more like meaning infused into an object. Tarot cards aren't magic, but the real magic is what's happening between the reader, the querent, and the cards. Reading tarot is a foolish thing to do. Trust me, I know. So, with that intro, let's start with a Fool.
Who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows it?
So we're starting from zero, from nothing. I don't mean nothing as an absence of something or a negative, but I mean nothing, like a blank page or canvas. It's ready to be filled with words or pictures. A long time ago, George Lucas took out a blank sheet of paper and wrote his first treatment of Star Wars. There are so many blank sheets of paper out in the world. Some of them end up as college term papers, others turn into drawings on refrigerator doors. Few become great cinematic epics that change modern culture. And when you're filling the blank page, a lot of times you're going to foolishly make mistakes as you write that epic. Have you seen George Lucas's original outline for Star Wars? It was sort of everywhere. It didn't have much structure or make much sense, but when you begin your path to become a Jedi or writing a screenplay or starting anything, you're going to try new things, experiment. And like the Fool of the Rider-Waite deck, you might fall into a cliff. 0 is its number. 0 is before 1. It's primordial. The Fool is the most powerful deck in the card. It can be anything. It's an archetypal stem cell. It's like a baby. A baby doesn't know anything. A baby can't really do much. A baby is a potential adult and has a long journey to go through until she gets there. Babies fall before they walk and drool before they speak. You'll make mistakes too when you start a new job or even raise your own baby. And even as an adult, can you really honestly say you know what the you're doing? I can't. I had the foolhardy idea thinking that making these videos would free up time for me to do art and what I want to do. And by the way, check out my Patreon. Even as an adult, you'll never get rid of the Fool. Just look at young Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. He's nothing but raw potential. He could pilot a pod racer, he built C-3PO, and he has all these damn midichlorians in his blood. He was strong with the Force. Or look at Rey. Her origin is a mystery, a blank canvas in The Force Awakens. So blank that her bloodline has been over-theorized and debated. She's resourceful and powerful to the point of being a Mary Sue. So much potential. But here, young Luke Skywalker walks on his path blindly. In some tarot, the Fool is sometimes blindfolded or said to be blind. He's on the desert planet of Tatooine, a nowhere, lawless place with nothing on it, just like Jakku. This planet is nothing, a 0. Our new hope is naive and plays with a toy T-16 Skyhopper. It's a symbol of his youth, but a prediction of his successful career as a fighter pilot.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
Do you think Luke Skywalker would still take this journey if he was told, "Hey Luke, this is what's going to happen to you when you try to find Obi-Wan Kenobi. Your uncle and aunt are going to die. You're going to make out with your twin sister. A giant space polar bear is going to mess you up. Then your best friend, the guy who's gonna your sister, the same sister you wanna is going to shove you into the belly of a dorky snow camel. Your biological father will chop off your hand, and you'll find out he's the second most evilest man in the galaxy. And then you might have to kill him. Do you think he'd take that journey? No, of course not. He's simply told that you must become a Jedi. Growing up on Tatooine, he has no idea what the rewards and hardships of being a Jedi mean. Just like when you were a kid, all you thought about was how cool it would be to be a grown-up. And it kind of is, but you gotta pay the electric bills, file for taxes, go to the gym, save up for retirement. By the end of Return of the Jedi, Luke didn't regret taking that first step. It doesn't even look like he regretted making out with his own sister. Dude, Obi-Wan, you could have said something. She's beautiful. Yes, just like your mother. Huh? Why? Your mother was hot. Don't f the princess. Following Luke Skywalker like a loyal dog is R2-D2. Now in the Rider-Waite deck, the Fool is followed by a canine. It's funny that dog spelled backwards is God. Sometimes dogs are held with sacred reverence. This could be because God, the Force, the Divine, is very loyal, just like a dog. Well, if you're on the right path, that is. It is something that is trustworthy, and even if you have sinned, it will never completely leave you. Unlike C-3PO, R2-D2 didn't have his memory erased, so this wise, loyal pet was more than just a cute little droid. Even on this path, Luke needs to unlearn what he has learned in order to become a Jedi. He must give into his own ignorance, his own naivete, and his own foolishness in order to find the greater knowledge. I guess the more common association with the Fool is a clown, and it's interesting that Mark Hamill's most famous roles are that of an archetypal fool who matures into a knight, and the Joker, a much more literal fool. Although this archetype is much more like a trickster than a fool. Actors are fools themselves. They'll catch the acting bug and move to LA. Like a blank canvas, they'll have to fill their entire being with a different person, a different character. Fools are another type of actor. They're the main character, just as you are the main character of your own life. You barely read the script, but suddenly you got shoved on stage. You have to improvise. You have to write the story as it comes along. You have to make your mistakes work. You're fearless, not because you're brave, but because you just don't know any better. You have to make fucking up look good. In the tarot, we have our suits. Swords, wands, cups, coins, and I'll go into detail about those later. But when a fool wields a sword, intelligence, information, they might be the wittiest of comedians, their tongues sharpened, giving us truths we weren't ready to hear. And with a thrust of their pen, they can cut down the mightiest of trolls. When a fool wields a wand, will, creativity, intuition, they might become an outsider artist. They were never trained and none of their talents refined, but they have the passion and the drive. You can criticize how bad their work is, but at least they finish their indie film. What have you done? When a fool has a cup, love, emotions, feelings, they might be drunk on their own emotions. The red flags are obvious to everyone except them. They're vulnerable to seduction and manipulation. But when two fools fall in love, it could be puppy love. They bring no scars or baggage to the relationship. When a fool has a coin, the material, money, maybe they're just buying stuff that looks good. They're not investing, they're not saving it for a rainy day, or at least that's not their reason for buying it. But with all their naivete, there's something inherently zen about the fool. They act in the moment. There's something Taoist about all of it, something sacred. Either if he's the young hero or the court jester, the fool is unblemished from this serious, structured society. When you first meet the fool, he might be this little green dude you found in the swamp. He's nosing around through all your stuff, making a mess, fighting with your droid. But when you get past that, the Fool is a greater wisdom. The sort of wisdom that leads you to the Force, to the divine. The sort of wisdom that was always right under your big red nose, but you were taught never to see.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
May the Force be with you. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Not only will there be more Star Wars Tarot videos, but other kinds of videos. Now, I've been working on the Star Wars Tarot on and off for years, mainly because I would work on TV, animation, and films. That takes a lot out of your creativity and time. And now I'm at a point in my life where I want to do my own work. So I started a Patreon for this and other projects. The more you support me, the more I can concentrate on finishing the Star Wars Tarot, and something that was popular on StumbleUpon and Reddit a decade ago. This is all something new to me. I hate listening to the sound of my own voice while editing this thing. Well, everyone hates the sound of their own voice. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, click on the links, hit like and subscribe, follow my Instagram and Twitter, and check out my friend at Valentino Loves You. He suspiciously sounds like me. You guys are the best. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.